tip.
I just said I'm a tip you on the app. I got you, player. Refill. But I'm gonna use every last drop. Sup? I'm recording. Okay, I am. Sup, though?
My parents had always been overprotective of me.
Right.
I was their only child after all. I don't mind too much. I knew it was because they cared about me. Until I was 16, I'd never been left home alone at night.
Unless you got some cluck-ass parents and they trying to, cover up something or hide something from you, Just saying. Maybe they did something and they just trying to hide it from me.
But finally, the time came. My parents left on Thursday and wouldn't return until Saturday night. This was my chance to show them that I was responsible enough to look after myself. The first day was a breeze. Thursday was Netflix night, and summer break had me out with friends by Friday. That evening, my best friend Emma and I lounged on my bedroom balcony.
Emma?
It wasn't a mansion, but our house was spacious with a lovely view. As the 9 p.m. sky dimmed, we sat wrapped in blankets, sipping lemonade and laughing. But suddenly, Emma's laughter stopped. She was staring at something across the street. I returned to my balcony and tidied up the blankets. That's when I smelled the cigarette smoke again. I paused, looked out onto the street, and there he was, the man from earlier. He was standing there.
Earlier? When was this?
Beneath a streetlight, watching me. He finished his cigarette and threw the butt onto the floor, all without taking his eyes off me.
Jesus Christ.
The hairs on my arms stood up. What did this guy want? His tall stature.
Man, if I was her, I would have been so scared that the hairs on my arms and my body, every last hair, would have stood up, got ready, the whole ass. And I would have been a bald ass mother clucker.
Oversized dark jeans, lime green t-shirt, and nearly shaved head were unforgettable. He stood very still with his hands in his pockets and his eyes fixed on us. I felt pretty freaked out, to be honest, but I didn't want Emma to know, so I lied.
What you talking about? You're right there. She sees you. You're literally within feet from her. And you're talking about, I'm fine. I don't have nothing to worry about. If I was Emma, we would have already had the whole shit. I would have been gone. But, because I'm not in this story, I would have did everything to check the checklist,
I said it was probably just a coincidence, and the man was maybe waiting for a cab.
Wow.
Emma wasn't convinced. We sat for a minute longer in awkward silence, the dude still staring at us. I decided to break the tension and show Emma some TikToks I'd seen earlier. This made us feel...
So now, y'all gonna take both of y'all, four-eyed mother cluckers, that's gonna take your eyes off of him. That's crazy. That's clucked. And I hope he got a pack of condoms.
Better. And when we looked up from the phone, the man was gone.
Oh, no shit.
I felt relieved. There was nothing to worry about after all. Emma and I hung out for a bit longer, and then at 10 p.m., we headed downstairs, as she wasn't staying over tonight because she had things to do the next morning.
Bullshit.
So her dad was driving by to pick her up.
Bullshit. My ass. Emma, your ass is staying here tonight and probably the next night. Matter of fact, the whole week. Just saying. Yeah, you saw what was out there. I saw what was out there. Come on now. You gonna leave? You literally gonna leave? That's crazy.
Onto the porch to wait. I didn't think much of it at the time, but there was this weird cigarette smoke in the air.
Oh yeah?
None of my neighbors smoked, so it was pretty unusual. It's only now that I look back that I realized someone was nearby. Emma's dad arrived just after 10, and then I went back inside.
Jesus Christ.
I remembered how quiet the house seemed. This was my first time staying there overnight alone, so it just seemed eerily quiet to me.
So, don't you think, with that being said, that you should lock everything in a damn house? I think so. That's what I would do. That's what you should. I don't want to tell you what you should do, because you are your own person, but you should lock everything in the house.
I returned to my balcony
Wow.
and tidied up the blankets.
Jesus.
That's when I smelled the cigarette smoke again. I paused, looked out onto the street, and there he was, the man from earlier. He was standing beneath a streetlight watching me. He finished his cigarette and threw the butt onto the floor, all without taking his eyes off me. The hairs on my arms stood up. What did this guy want? I know I should have turned away and gone back inside, but instead, I waved at him.
Hey, Toto. You okay, Toto? What's wrong, Toto?
Thank you, baby.
Alright, Toto. Baby! Wash them hands, Totos. Alright, Totos.
You got a lot to record?
It depends.
I'll just ask.
What name that?
Yeah, I literally.
What name that?
Like an idiot. This must have excited
What the What the fuck is he doing? Is he excited? Really? He must be excited. Cause who the hell swings on the pole like that? That's crazy.
because he started swinging around and around.
He probably singing in his head. I got a clucky tonight. I got a clucky tonight. I got a clucky. I got a clucky. I got a clucky. I got a clucky.
Lamppost like he was in a musical movie or something. Then, as if he couldn't get any creepier, he started grinding and gyrating against the pole as if he was making love to it. This was too gross. I immediately turned and went into the house. I thought about calling my parents, but I didn't want to worry them. So instead, I went around the house, checking that I locked all the windows and doors.
There you go.
And then I headed to bed.
Come on now.
I woke up on Saturday morning and everything seemed ordinary outside. No sign of the man from last night. My parents were coming back home tomorrow, so I did a few chores and then went out with some friends. I got home around 9 p.m. and by 10, I was back on the balcony enjoying the stars coming out. The night was quiet. There wasn't much traffic where I lived. But then, the silence was interrupted by a giggle. Not a cute giggle of a child, but a gravely snicker. I peered over the edge of the balcony and was greeted by the smiling face of the man.
Fuck you.
This time, I didn't stay to watch him. I went back into the house and hid in my closet. I called Emma on my mobile and told her everything. She was extremely helpful, trying to calm me down while her dad called the police from his phone. Then, I heard this sound of smashing glass from downstairs. The man was...
That would have never happened if you had Adidas windows.
in my house. I wanted to scream, but Emma helped me to stay quiet. Tears welled up in my eyes and spilled onto my cheeks. Emma, I whispered, if he gets in here, What will they do to me? Don't think about that now. Do you have anything you can use as a weapon? She asked. I had nothing. Suddenly, everything went quiet in my house. I held my breath. Maybe the man would...
So what you mean everything suddenly just went quiet in your house? Wasn't it already quiet in your house? I'm guessing because of the crash, you know, it was noisy and then it went quiet, but I'm just a little confused.
Find me. The silence seemed to go on forever, although it was probably only a couple minutes. Suddenly, the closet door was thrown open, and I screamed. I dropped the phone and hid my face behind my eyes. I felt hands grab my wrists and pull me up.
Oh my God.
Terrified, I began to flail my arms, batting the man away. Natasha, stop! It's me! The voice.
Hell no! Hell no, Daddy! You're in cahoots! You're in cahoots! With the mother clucker that was smoking cigarettes. You're not fooling nobody, Pops! Yeah. Yeah, get your hands off him. I'll cluck your ass.
Was Emma's dad. He had come to rescue me. After calling the police, he jumped in his car and made his way there. I asked where the man was now, and Emma's dad explained that he was locked in the garage. Emma's dad had entered the house through the same broken window as the man, and when the guy wandered into the garage, Emma's dad closed the door and locked him in. Sirens blared in the distance, getting closer. Moments later, the police arrived and made their arrest.
Why he look like that? Boy, you about to, I hope you get what you deserve in prison. What's the difference between prison and jail? I don't know. What do you think? What do you think his excuse would be? Because he looks like he's worried and scared. Like, what? Oh, I only came in for some sugar. That's it. No, not no cluck sugar here. Sugar, just regular sugar.
Emma's dad let me stay with them until my parents got home the next night. I'm so grateful for them for everything that they did. There's no way I could have stayed alone in that house for another night.
The whole time, Emma was probably in cahoots.
My name's Hannah.
Hannah?
When I was 16 and living in Texas,
Jesus.
I was obsessed with horror stories. I couldn't get enough of them.
Right.
Or movies, books, reading Reddit forums, and watching true crime on YouTube.
Right.
Never in my wildest dreams did I think that one day I'd be the main character.
Hold on. You never thought you'd be the main character? So, let me ask y'all this. What would you do if you was watching a horror story and it was me? Like, I was the main character. Like, something clucked up happened to me. Would y'all unsubscribe? Dislike my videos? That would be crazy as hell.
Own true life horror story. The story I'm about to tell you unfolded on a summer's day in my hometown. My parents would go out to work, and I'd hang at the house, enjoying my summer vacation. Sometimes I'd invite friends over, or we'd go chill at the mall. Today, though, everyone was busy or out of town with their family. I didn't mind spending the day alone. The air con in the house was better than the Texas heat anyway. It was approaching lunchtime, and I was getting hungry, so I decided to order from DoorDash. My parents absolutely hated DoorDash and food ordering apps.
Why?
They'd just read some weird story online about creeps delivering food. But
I mean, I understand that. I see where they coming from. They not wrong about that, you know. Look, if you want to, if we being transparent, if we being keeping it in the buck, keep it in the stack. To be honest with you, these food delivery like companies, DoorDash, Postmates, Uber Eats, Instacart, all that, they got your address, you know. So they could screenshot your address. They could write it down somewhere, like, and they can come back that night. Within the week, next month, 6 months from now, like they have your address, and that's kind of sus.
Who even believes those?
Me.
Millions of people use DoorDash every day with no problem. So, I get on the app and order from Chick-fil-A, my guilty pleasure. At this point, everything seemed normal. I placed the order and was notified. Your driver, Eddie, is on his way.
Eddie?
I don't really like answering the door to delivery guys, so I made a specific request to leave the food on the doorstep.
Okay.
If you've never used DoorDash before, let me tell you, that's a totally normal request. The food delivery person usually comes up to the door, leaves the food at the door, and then updates the app to say that the food has been delivered. Sometimes they might knock on the door or ring the doorbell, just to make sure that you know. But either way, it's a pretty normal thing to do. Eventually, I got a notification on my phone that Eddie was on his way, and then another saying that he was pulling into my street. Usually this would mean I'd hear a soft thud of my food being dropped on the porch, and then my phone would beep to let me know that the delivery was made. But not today. I heard the car door open and close, footsteps as Eddie approached the house, and then nothing. Weird. How long does it take for this guy to drop off my food? I was upstairs in my room, so I went to the window and peeked out. I could see his car on the street, so I knew he hadn't left yet. I checked my phone. He definitely hadn't updated the app to say that the delivery was made, so I assumed he was still on my porch. And then I saw him. He walked back out onto the driveway and looked right up at my bedroom window. He was tall, scruffy, a bit unkempt looking, but there was something in his eyes that freaked me out. They were so dark, like he had no irises, just big black pupils. I quickly moved away from the window. Just hurry up, dude, and leave. Next, I heard 3 loud, slow knocks on the front door. What the actual was going on? I stood in silence in my bedroom, afraid to move. Eddie knocked again, but this time louder, more forceful. I called down that he could just leave the food on the porch and I'd come get it. The knocking continued, louder, more forceful. This was when I realized he wasn't just knocking now. He was kicking the door.
Maybe he wanted a tip. Don't worry, I'll tip you on the app.
Trying to get in?
Damn. Maybe he wanted a 1 out of 5 star rating. Don't worry, I'll rate you 5 stars on the app.
Towards the top landing.
Why is she outside? I just noticed it. God damn. Yo. I rarely, me and baby girl use these food delivering apps. So we never had an issue or a cluck issue happen to us before. But I can assure you that there's probably way more of these stories out there. And I know this because it's like you're getting all kinds of people from different races, ethnicities, backgrounds. And sure, you may say what you want. I feel like on the app to get approved. But it's like, if you're crazy, if you're a cluck ass, that's who you are. Prime example.
House where I had a good view of the door and called down again. Is there a problem with my order? You could just leave it on the doorstep. It's fine, really. I tried to keep my voice steady, but inside I was shaking. Hannah, came Eddie's voice. Let's not play games. Open the door. I don't know how else to explain it, but his voice wasn't like a normal human voice.
What?
It was the voice of a madman. The type of voice you heard in horror movies like Hannibal or The Shining. This dude was going to kill me, I just knew it. No sooner had the thought passed my mind when the door broke open.
Oh my
And
God.
at the bottom of the stairs stood Eddie. His tall figure.
Whole time. I probably would have left or called the police, not say nothing to them, and just left it left them on the phone. And hopefully they come to my address.
Silhouetted in the Texas sun. With Eddie in the house, my brain ceased to function and my body took over. I ran into the nearest room, my parents' bedroom, and barricaded myself in. Downstairs, I could hear the muffled sounds of Eddie ransacking the house. Then, nothing. I thought maybe he'd left. Maybe he'd just robbed the place, but then the door handle to my parents' bedroom began to jiggle. Eddie's voice, eerily calm, sent shivers down my spine. Hannah, you didn't leave me a tip.
I just said I'm a tip you on the app. I got you, player. I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you on it now. How much I tip you? I'm gonna tip you, but how much I tip you is based on your performance. Cause right now, player, be lucky you get $1 from me.
Such a pretty young thing like you can surely find a way to pay me back. The horror of the situation truly hit me. This man was here to violate me. A surge of adrenaline pushed me into action.
Oh yeah?
I pushed open my dad's closet, where he keeps his golf clubs, and hid myself beside the door. The next few seconds seemed to stretch into hours. Eddie managed to use a knife from the kitchen to jimmy open the door. As he stepped in,
What? I would have been ready. I would have been by that door, ready to. Oh! I would have clutched his hand up. I would have clutched his hand, his arm, every. The first body part that would have popped up or showed when he walked through them doors, whether it was his toes, his head, his hand, I would have.
swung the golf club with all my might, catching him off guard. There was the sound
There you go.
of something crunching, and then Eddie screamed.
For a second, I thought he wasn't about to react to that, but he did. I thought he was gonna be like, and then turn around.
Stabbing at the back of his head. Without wasting a second, I bolted from the room and ran to a neighbor across the street. Thank God they were home, and I was able to call 911. The cops arrived pretty quickly.
Damn.
But still, Eddie had vanished before they got there.
How the hell?
The police took the matter very seriously, but I heard from my parents that DoorDash denied having an Eddie on file.
Hell.
It turns out they were lying to us, though, and lying to the police, because weeks later, we read a news article about DoorDash delivery guy named Eddie, who brutally attacked a group of teenage girls having a slumber party. That could have been me. Today, years later, I still deal with the trauma from that event. I'm scared to be home alone and decided to get a license to conceal and carry a weapon. I know that my story is rare. DoorDash is probably safe for the most part.
My ass.
Just remember, creeps and weirdos are out there. Always trust your instincts.
You know what's crazy? Some of y'all know I used to work at Chipotle. And where I worked at, the online orders used to be, out in the lobby, but closer to like the kitchen area. I don't know how to explain it. Like, let's say this is you ever go if you ever go to Chipotle, the kitchen is open, but there's a line between where the kitchen starts and where the lobby starts. You know, and so the lobby will be over here, and the online orders will be on the shelf right here, right, very close to the entrance of like the kitchen. And you know how many people would just steal orders? I just thought that would be. I literally thought that's the dumbest idea they could have done. One of many dumb ideas that Chipotle thought of. I mean, granted, it'd be nice. I mean, I get it, you know, but it's like for like the people that ordered online, order DoorDash or Uber Eats, they see the name and they can just take it. I get it, but at the same time, random ass motherfuckers just be taking that shit. Thank God, I don't know if the addresses are on there, but Jesus Christ. Y'all could have like put it somewhere near like the online order, like where they prep the food and shit. They could have put it somewhere in the kitchen and just said what name they got, like what name we here for. So many orders got stolen and probably still get stolen.
And be wary, especially when you're home alone. Not everyone is who they appear to be.
No shit. Is it? Oh.
This story takes place only last year.
All right.
I was home from college for the summer, spending time with my friends and family. One evening, an old school friend, who was also back in town for summer, invited me to a party.
So, your ass is sitting on that bench by yourself next to thousands and thousands of trees.
It was the next town over, so I agreed to be the designated driver. There wasn't much going on in my town, so I was glad to have something to do. And if I'm honest, I was hoping for a summer fling, so I got dressed up in my cutest outfit. We arrived at the party a little later than everyone else, and it was in full swing. My friend knew a few people there, so she quickly disappeared.
Damn.
I didn't know anyone. And with my friend already off having fun, I just hung around the food table, nibbling on snacks. Eventually, this guy approached. He was not really my usual type, but still good looking.
Oh no.
He started a conversation with me, and it was clear that he was into me. Perfect. My summer fling. Our conversation flowed effortlessly, spanning from our favorite movies to whimsical stories of childhood pets. By the night's end, we traded phone numbers, and in the following week, we texted almost non-stop. I felt like we had a really strong connection, and eventually, we met up and hung out a few times.
Again, so y'all gonna meet up and hang out in the woods. That shit crazy. Look at him. Look at him.
That's when everything started to go wrong.
Oh yeah?
What had seemed like a fun and casual connection took a darker turn. His messages flooded in non-stop, shifting from friendly banter to an uncomfortable clinginess. I tried to pull back, hoping he'd get the message, but he didn't. His barrage of messages took an aggressive tone, and though it had been just a fortnight since our first meeting, I felt the weight of his obsession. I couldn't let this go on. I felt kind of bad at first. Had I not been clear enough about this being a summer-only romance? I decided to confront him and be honest. I called him, hoping for an amicable resolution.
Amicable?
When I told him I wasn't looking for anything serious and that maybe we should call it off, He started telling me how I was the love of his life.
He's a crazy ass Clucky. You got a Clucky? Crazy ass Clucky. What are you talking about? A sus Clucky. In cahoots Clucky. All kinds of Cluckies. But he's a crazy ass Clucky. Cause I just told you at the beginning, like when we was at that party and we was nibbling on them shits, I literally said I'm looking for a summer fling and nothing serious. That's it. I was clear. I enunciate every word, every syllable. And I know you heard me because the mother closet that was 6 miles away was like, damn, just a summer fling? Oh shit.
He said that no one had ever made him feel this way, and that we were destined to be together.
My ass.
Dude, we only met 2 weeks ago. I tried to be as kind and understanding, explaining that I was going back to college in a few weeks and it wasn't possible to have a long-distance relationship. This was the final breaking point for him.
Oh yeah.
He erupted into anger, hurling insults, his voice chillingly morphing from sweet to sinister. I should have hung up the phone, but I just sat there and took the abuse.
Wow.
When I didn't say anything, he responded with the most chilling statement yet. I'll be seeing you soon.
My
The line went dead.
Oh no.
Panic set in. He knew I was alone this weekend, as my parents were out of town, but he didn't know their address. I'd always done the driving on our dates, so he had no idea where I actually lived, other than the town name. But just to be safe, I locked all the doors and windows. When I felt safe enough, I headed to bed. My sleep was interrupted at 3:20 a.m.
Oh yeah?
when my phone buzzed with a notification from my Ring app. The security footage revealed him lurking outside, an indistinct object in his hand. I watched through my phone as he stood on the small porch, staring unblinkingly at the front door.
God damn.
I don't know why, but I decided to talk to him through the Ring camera. Really, I should have called the police and stayed silent. But I was so shocked to see him there, I wasn't thinking right.
Oh yeah?
What are you doing here? I said. The guy turned to the Ring camera, and that's when I saw it. The indistinct item in his hand was a knife. Startled by the camera, the guy turned and left, only looking
How the hell did you not see that big ass camera?
back once to see if I was still watching him. I reported the incident to the police and handed over all my messages and Ring camera footage to them. It turns out that by sharing so much personal information with this guy, he was able to log into my social media accounts. You know how they ask some weird information like your pet's first name or your mom's maiden name? Well, I told him everything that he needed to know.
God damn!
It felt disgusting to know that this relationship I was building had been exploited. And even more terrifying to know that this sharing could have gotten me killed.
That's
It's
your fault.
alarming how easily personal anecdotes can be weaponized in our digital age. Guard your stories, no matter how trivial they may seem. Enable two-factor authentication, and be mindful of whom you share your life with. The nights still hold a tinge of fear for me. Please, let my experience be a lesson. Stay safe and vigilant.
I don't feel nothing for you, you dumbass. Oh, is this it? Oh shit. Oh, I love when animated horror stories show like the real shit. I don't feel nothing for you. Like, that was your fault. You stupid. You clucked ass dummy. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. Shit. On me. If I was you and I met him, I probably would have told him so much false ass information. God damn. That just pissed me off. Who does that? Who actually does that? Jesus Christ. Keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy. My family.